Hey, welcome back to a very special edition of AI Defined. Today I'm going to be reviewing the movie AlphaGo. So the movie AlphaGo is all about the DeepMind project, DeepMind, an AI company that has been since bought by Google. And their project was to develop an AI that was able to defeat the best players in the world in the ancient Chinese board game Go. Now, Go is an ancient game. It's often believed to be the hardest game in the world. It's played on a 19 by 19 board with black and white stones, and they used to believe that it would take millions of years for AI to be able to figure out all the endless, countless possibilities of Go moves. Well, DeepMind decided to take this challenge on, and what made me really interested in this as a project was they decided to use a neural network. So instead of having the best Go players in the world come in and kind of teach the AI Go, what they did was they developed a neural network that allowed the game to teach itself, which resulted in exponentially fast learning. Like I said, it was supposed to be about 10 years. I said million years, but millions of learning hours. About 10 years before the AI was going to be advanced enough to be able to defeat these players. Well, the beginning of the movie starts with the AI defeating a European champion named Fan Hu. And then the DeepMind AI goes to China to take on Lee Sedol, who is the #1 ranked Go player in the world. He's a 9th Dan, the highest rank, and everyone expects Lee Sedol to basically wipe out DeepMind. Except he ends up losing the first 3 games in a row. And he only wins 1 out of the 5 games. And he has to make kind of a 1 in 10,000 move that I'll talk about in just a minute in order to even win that game. So DeepMind ends up crushing him, winning the $1 million prize, and you get to see what happens when these Go players who had laughed off the idea of a computer ever being able to beat them see that the computer has actually surpassed them. So really interesting movie. It's pretty short. It's only about 1 hour and 40 minutes. It's not dry at all. It's not super scientific. It's very entertaining. It's very emotional. And even if you don't know anything about playing Go, like myself, I don't even know how to play Go. I just know it's a really hard, difficult game. You'll learn a lot about Go and a lot about how powerful neural networks are. So let's get into my 3 big takeaways. Takeaway number 1, I kind of hinted at, and that's how interesting it is to watch human beings realize that technology has surpassed them. When Fan Hu is being just destroyed by the DeepMind AI, he's like shocked. It's like watching someone's whole life crumble. Lee Sedol is like crushed. He has to like walk away from the board at one point during the 3rd game for like 15 minutes. Like he just doesn't know how to handle it. He feels ashamed. He's like, I really feel bad for the guy because you can tell that he's really just crushed and had no idea this was coming. So it's kind of fascinating to see human beings realize that AI can beat them at what they're good at, and that might be a little bit of a preview of what the future is going to largely look like. Number 2, it's widely believed that this game of Go between Lee Sedol and DeepMind is what inspired China to actually invest so heavily in AI companies. China has now invested in a level that's only a little less than what the US is putting into AI, and they've developed a national team including multiple different companies like Tencent, which has also recently, in the last couple of years, I think this match was in 2015, Tencent has now developed an AI that can also beat high-level Go champions as well. I think they beat the Chinese champion pretty recently. And third, last but not least, I want to talk about the 2 moves, right? So in this match, there are 2 moves that are 1 in 10,000. The first is the 38th move made in the 3rd game by the DeepMind AI. And one of the interesting things that kind of revolutionized the way Go was played based on this AI was that the AI decided that it's better to have 51% of the board than to kind of dominate the board, which is what the best Go players try to do, the best human players. So in the 3rd game, 38th move, it makes this play that a human would probably make 1 out of every 10,000 times. And for symmetry, and I don't know if this was produced or what. I don't think it was, but you always have to be a little skeptical. In the fourth game, with Lee Sedol down 3-0, on the verge of getting swept, I mean, he already lost, but on the verge of really getting closed out with no games, he makes a move called the wedge. They've now called it the hand of God as well in the Go community. That Go evaluated as a 1 in 10,000 move, and that was the move that swung the game for Lee Sedol for the one game he did win. And you can actually watch the win probabilities drop for DeepMind's AI as he makes this move. Pretty cool moment. So human creativity is something that the AI will not be able to generate or compete with. But at the same time, AI also expands things and creates moves that humans might not be able to come up with. And that's really the synergy. Like when I talk about humans and machines, that's what I'm talking about. It's not an either or, it's a tandem cooperative relationship. The way that Lee Sedol plays Go has been changed, and he didn't lose for like months afterwards. Like he didn't lose a single game. Fan Hu went from being the European champion to being like a top 10 player in the world. So the guys that got crushed by this DeepMind AI actually learned a lot, and they've both said that it revolutionized and opened their eyes to how Go can actually be played. So really fascinating if you're into strategic thinking, if you're into board games, if you're into AI, and if you're just into watching humans cope with their fragility. Then I highly recommend AlphaGo. It's on Netflix. I think you can also watch it for free online at alphagomovie.com. Highly recommend it. 5 out of 5 stars. Definitely worth your time if you're interested in AI, board games, or just looking for some fun documentary to watch. Thanks for watching this review, and I will be back to talk to you very soon.